Safe Secure 360 podcast. There is safety in numbers.
This is the Safe Secure 360 podcast. The information provided in our podcasts is for general information uses only and is not intended as legal advice. The views and opinions expressed by the guests are their own. Always consult with a qualified professional before making safety and security decisions. For more information about this topic, check out our website at safesecure360.com.
Welcome to the Safe Secure 360 podcast. Safe Secure 360 is a security consulting group that I own in the Woodlands, Texas area, and we assist our clients with security and safety related information, and we do assessments on churches, schools, and corporations to help them develop safety plans to be more predictable in situations that may present risk to them. I'm a retired police commander in the Houston, Texas area after 33 years and have gained insight now as a business owner for 8 years in the private security industry. So really it's a combination of information that comes from both parts of my work and life experience. So hopefully today's topic will be an advantage for you and your family to think about.
Our intention with this podcast is to share information that we've gathered, like Robert was saying, both in the private and sector and then as a police officer, and to empower you, the listener, with some opportunities to make your life feel more safe, to have some feelings of knowing what to do when you're out in the world. Today, we thought a timely example would be talking about holiday shopping safety tips. Every year, there is a big rush to the mall, and all of a sudden, it's time to buy things for people that you love and care about. And so part of that requires you going out into public. And so we're going to explore some ideas about staying safe during these times when you're out in the world. So why don't I start by asking, why would we even talk about this? What makes holiday shopping more detrimental than other times of the year?
Well, that's a good question. Crime data in the United States shows us that there is a peak or an increased amount of crime, specifically property crimes, also some persons crimes that happen during the holiday season. It's a season in which the public spends a lot of money and really decides whether they're going to shop online or whether they're going to go to a mall or some type of retail place. And when they do that, they introduce themselves with a lot of other people into that parking lot or into that mall or that huge store. And some of those people that are there may not have good intentions. They may be planning to steal or shoplift or take a package or item, your purse or your wallet, your cell phone. So I think it's important and timely right now to talk about some basic steps that you can take to reduce your risk if you are going out and shopping during this season.
I can definitely see when we were younger, my whole family would go to the mall along with basically everybody else's whole family, and the parking lot would be full, the stores would be full. It's a different feeling than going in the summertime to go shop at the mall, for instance.
Yes, I think that as we evolve electronically, certainly online shopping has become a one click and you're done. Here, the package is here, sometimes the same day, versus going to a mall or to a retail shop. But just like you said, and that's my first point, is that you would go with your family. You would typically not go by yourself. And I think an old adage is there's safety in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you are going to go shopping during the retail holiday season, it's a good idea to have someone else go with you. Not only Is it an extra set of eyes to alert you to something that could occur around you?
Mm-hmm.
But also they can help you carry things and be able to be more aware of your surroundings as you leave that retail setting to go back to your car.
Right. And so let's talk a little bit more about shopping malls. I think we should circle back. We should talk more about online shopping too, but let's talk specifically about retail. When we're going out in the world with the family, the first thing is to bring people with you so that you have an extra set of eyes, an extra set of hands.
That's right.
When I'm at the mall, how do I orient myself to being around all of these people? What's a thought process that I can take that will help me feel like I can prepare for something unexpected to happen?
I think being aware of your surroundings is a real good idea. And that's kind of a broad approach, but being aware of people around you, being aware of anything that is unusual to you, being aware of things that just don't fit.
Mm,
For instance, if you were in a mall and you heard someone yelling or in a verbal argument, that's something that's going to be unusual, and you should avoid that area if possible. If you see someone who is running, for instance, in a retail store, that's very unusual.
hmm
So that should heighten your awareness about, could that be a threat to me or my family, and what should I do about that? So those are very important fundamental things to do. If you're with someone, you may ask them, did you hear that? Did you see that? And then talk about what you should do if you had to leave that area. Where would you go and how quickly would you go? All really depends on what's happening
hmm
around you. There could be different response levels depending upon how urgent the situation is. SAFESECURE 360. We are a security consulting group located in the Woodlands, Texas. We assist our multiple clients by reducing the risk, loss, and reputation impact. We also do full security assessments on their facilities, large churches, large private schools in Texas, and we want to help you. Take a look at our website, safesecure360.com.
I've heard of the phrase run, hide, fight before. Does that apply to this area? I've heard that in schools and in workplaces, but it's some simple steps that I can keep in mind. Does that apply to this shopping mall experience?
It certainly does and certainly can. We started using run, hide, fight within the last 15 years, really after Columbine, school shooting, mass shooting in Colorado. And the concept is really pretty simple and translates between school safety and just being in public. Run, hide, fight, the components of it. Run, if you're not where the event or threat or emergency is happening, it's less likely that you'll be involved in it. It's better to run or get away from that incident. If a building is on fire, there's some type of industrial accident or a power failure or something catastrophic happens, my advice would be for you to run or leave that area safely and thereby reduce your risk of being a victim or being injured or damaged from that event. So, just as in school preparations for shootings in a school, which is very common, unfortunately, now,
Mm,
running is the first component. The second one is hide. This deals less with an industrial accident or power failure or fire, but more so with an active threat of violence, perhaps. And the concept is if you cannot run or where you've ran to is a dead end or you cannot leave that environment completely, hiding may be a good choice as well. The run, hide, fight is not really a linear process. You could be running and thinking about hiding. You could be hiding and thinking about running again. So hiding, once again, removes you and who you're with from potential risk, because if the person who is endangering others cannot see you or find you or access you, then they're more likely to move on to a different target. The fighting concept is really a last scale measure that someone would use if they've ran, if they've hidden, or if they've just hidden, and the threat has compromised their position. Let's say they're behind a door, they think it's locked, or they braced something against the door while they were hiding, but then the perpetrator defeats that door and opens that door and begins coming in. What would you do? Could you use some type of improvised weapon, such as a fire extinguisher, a laptop, a chair? If you had the ability to use that to strike this person, stop them from harming you or others, that is the fight component. But once again, run, hide, fight, think of it as uh, options to use. It's not just one or the other. Continually think about running and continually think about hiding and, if necessary, fight. So, although it's a concept used in school safety or in a business, different things impact it. Like, do you have multiple stories, multiple floors? Do you have multiple exits? Are you familiar with those exits? What if you're in a movie theater? Or what if you're in an outdoor setting? How would that work for you? So I think it's responsible to run these scenarios in your head and certainly discuss them with your family as to what actions you would take to, one, perceive or interpret something's just not right, and then take appropriate and timely action to remove yourself from that situation. That's the emphasis, really, of run, hide, fight.
Yes, removing yourself from something that is so unusual that it's jarring, getting yourself away from a situation that feels violent or unsafe, and getting the people away is the best way to do this. And so it would be wise as I'm walking through the mall to look around me and take stock of where are my exits right now while I'm on this area of the mall. What are my entrances and exits around me? Who's around me? Is there commotion anywhere? Maybe as I'm moving through each area and into each room, it's important to just take stock of what the room looks like. What are the exits and how does that fit into my plan if something goes in a way I can't control?
Those are all great ideas and great steps. Um, I wouldn't want you to fixate on it or have it drive your entire shopping experience where that's all you're thinking about. If it is that unsafe of an environment, I would encourage you not to shop there. However, these simple evaluative thoughts that you're thinking can be applied in many different settings: a restaurant, a movie, retail, at your home, in your neighborhood, at a sporting event, at school.
Right.
There's a lot of different choices, but I think it's the fundamental thing you can do is be more aware and of what's going on around you. And if it feels uncomfortable, you don't have to be an expert in things to know. If it feels uncomfortable, if it feels like it's deteriorating or escalating, what can you do to safeguard yourself and others. It's real important.
So trust your instincts when you're out.
That's right. Trust your instincts and perhaps develop a plan before you enter these scenarios. And it can be a very simple plan. Let's say you're at the movies and you know you came in a certain entry to the movies and you find your seat. Just take a moment and consider, well, I came in this way. However, I do see the exit sign over there, and I do see one there in the front where the movie's being shown on the screen. There's some exit doors there also. It's a dark environment with a lot of people. And when that happens, it's unpredictable how people will respond during stress. So I think that having just that small glimpse into an alternative exit, maybe mentioning that to your family, hey, look, if something would happen, we would want to go out that way if it was safer to do so than come in the way we came and climb the stairs.
Let's shift focus a little bit to what is more and more the maybe the more common source of getting things from shopping is to get them online and get them delivered to you. I've seen, depending on which statistics you're looking at, somewhere between 10 and 20% of people in America have experienced somebody stealing a package from there. That's 1 in 5 or 1 in 10 people. What are some ways that you can protect yourself from a package theft or prepare yourself for making good choices about that?
I certainly agree that online shopping and then the ultimate delivery of that product, whether it be through the postal service or from another carrier such as Amazon, FedEx, UPS, DHL, um, certainly presents risks, not personal threat risks, but back to the risk of property theft. And there's really two groups of people that do this. Some are professionals that have very intricate plans about how they case a neighborhood that gets a lot of packages. They do research to find out what time Amazon or DHL or UPS deliver. They know that during the holiday season, there's a heightened level of deliveries. So that's encouraging to someone who's a professional thief. Also, there's amateurs who are opportunity crime suspects. And what they will do is typically just drive around a neighborhood without any research and look for packages that may be vulnerable and stop, get out of the car, go up, grab the package, return to their car, and leave. So whether it's a professional who is doing research on the best target rich environments for theft or an opportunity crime, the result is the same. Your package is gone and it's no longer there. So I think that if you know that you know more and more packages are coming, or you've ordered something and you're waiting for it to be delivered, what are some common sense things you can do to heighten your chances of getting the package? And I think that one of them certainly is to alert a trusted neighbor and say, hey, today I'm expecting 4 packages. I'm going to be out of town or I'm going to be at work when they are expected to come. Will you help me, if possible, by retrieving those packages for me? You have my permission to do so. Because I've heard of a lot of package theft going on, and I want to prevent that from happening. Another thing may be it's getting darker earlier in the day now. If you have a porch light or you have some type of light at your residence, leave that on. Come on automatically for the nighttime. And if the package is delivered typically to your porch, if it's accessible, there will be some light to illuminate that package and whoever may approach that package. Another great idea are doorbell cameras such as Ring or different brands that have video and audio that are keyed by motion. So not only do you have the video of the Amazon driver depositing the item and proving that they did, now you have a blank spot until someone else comes into the field of view and that person takes or steals the package. You can see that that happens. Uh, however, these thieves are very smart about being discovered, and they may wear a disguise, or they may wear a COVID-style mask, sunglasses, a hat, a beanie, a hoodie. There's all different methods that they use, especially the professional thieves, where the amateur theft or the opportunity theft may just simply put a hoodie on or perhaps some sunglasses to disguise their identity. So I think that lighting the area, having a neighbor aware, um, having a Ring camera or some type of camera like that are all good steps to take to discourage someone from stealing your package. Also, I think it's important to know that if you, as you're out and you're in your neighborhood or your friends and neighbors are out and about, if they see something like that happen, or they see someone approach your home and they're not a delivery person, it's very important to report that and to videotape it if you can from your cell phone, because that may be the only clues that the police have to file a police report or attempt to recover those products.
And to drill the point, to report it, I would call 911 and go through the steps of, I saw somebody really suspicious walking on a porch in my neighborhood. I have a video, and they'll guide me through the process. Is there a better way than that?
Yeah, I think it's important to probably use the non-emergency police number versus 911, which is really reserved for in progress emergencies or something that's very serious. Um, but the call takers who answer your non-emergency call uh, can engage the police and ultimately result in them coming to your home, hopefully, and taking a report about this. But right, that cell phone video maybe is valuable, and also you may have video of the street and not just your porch. And that video is important as police investigators try to fix the identity of a person or the type of vehicle they drove or what time they came, and all that or all that is information that's valuable to help with an investigation.
So I like the idea of community coming together to support. The more localized and friendly we become with our immediate community, the more we have the ability to say, help your neighbor carry a package in, help monitor your neighbor's place, and then they would do the same with you. I like that idea of community supporting each other and saying something about odd things together.
There are certainly advantages of doing that, not just from a crime perspective of a package theft, but just looking out for each other
Yes.
and just having those relationships with each other have a lot of value.
So again, we're going to need to go outside, and like you said, it's getting dark sooner. In parking lots and in, let's say, a mall parking lot, I'm done shopping. It's when I came in, it was light outside, but now it's dark. How should I prepare myself for making it to my car? What considerations how should I change my behavior different than if it was still light outside?
My advice would be think about this before you get there, before it's dark, and try to park as close as you can, obviously, to the point of entry where you're going to go shopping. Sometimes that's possible and sometimes it's not. The closer you get to the shopping season, the more desirable those upfront spots are. But here's what I would do. I would think about it in a different way. and look for aerial lighting poles. If I can't be on row 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, but I have to start parking at 8, 9, 10 row, look around. If you have choices to where to park, look around for that aerial lighting. And if you can, park your vehicle in that area, because even though it's lit now and light outside when you enter, it may in fact be dark when you leave.
Right.
So things change. But my advice about parking and selecting a parking spot is also enhanced by covering things up in your car. If you have a dark, small throw blanket, for instance, you can lay that across a back seat or a front seat, and it hides items that could be visually seen by someone who wants to steal them, and you could discourage someone from breaking in your vehicle. Using the trunk of the vehicle is a good idea, because not only a thief would have to defeat the inside of the vehicle, then they would also have to enter the trunk, and that's a little more hard. It takes more time,
Right.
and time is a component that's very valuable uh, for persons who are going to steal. So I think that locking your car completely every time, all the time, and I think that making sure your windows are rolled up and locking your vehicle is very important. But then as soon as you exit your vehicle, take a moment and just look around. Where am I parked? What area am I parked in? Where's the door relative to where I'm parked, so you can easily return to your vehicle? And what path am I going to take as I walk into the mall? And how will that path be different, if it is, when you leave and it's dark? Where's my purse? Am I carrying a purse? Am I carrying a purse? Am I texting? Am I walking? Do I have a lot of cash in my wallet? Or do I have credit cards, which is my recommendation? Cash is much more desirable for someone to steal from you. Credit cards also have value, but are a little more difficult. You can report them stolen, you can turn them off, you can recover inappropriate purchases that you didn't make. So it gives you some options, but I think that guarding your purse and your wallet and your cell phone are great ideas as you're leaving that parked car and going in. One more thought is that when you're leaving the mall, it's dark, and you see something en route to your car that is disturbing to you or concerning to you, that may make you feel uncomfortable or places you at risk, I encourage you to return to the store and ask someone in the store, do you provide any type of escort? I feel uncomfortable about walking back to my car. I have these packages. Can someone walk me out? They may or may not be able to do so. There may also be a private security vehicle or person or horseback, even in Texas, that you could flag down, or you could say, hi, would you mind watching me as I go to my car? Typically, they're very accommodating and they'll help you. So I think it's important to get that escort if you feel uncomfortable. And let's say that that's something that you saw was not only important to you, but also could be important or impact someone else. Tell your story to that store employee. Tell your story to that security person that, hey, I saw this red car with these two guys in it, or these three females, or whatever you saw. And what was peculiar about them? What was unusual about them? What was it that heightened your attention to them? And pass that information on. It could save someone else from being a victim.
That's a great thought. It goes back to see something, say something, but what a lot of people are unaware of is you might be shopping at the mall, but the security officer already knows that 3 cars might have gotten broken into and is trying to catch this person. You keeping that information to yourself doesn't help them or the next person either. But you sharing the story and being helpful with the people that are trying to make this place safe, I think maybe security officers and things like that should get a little bit more praise for keeping their visual deterrent, at least, of people. You don't want to rob a car when someone's looking at you.
I agree. Private security is used throughout our country. I think it's a $3 billion industry. And I think that being the eyes and ears and the deterrent um, gives a sense of order and perhaps safety to those parking lots and to those stores. You see private security in banks, hospitals, businesses everywhere. So I think that it's unlikely that the security officer is going to seek you out, but about a crime they're investigating or something they're trying to deter. However, you seeking them out and giving them a little information that they didn't already know may be very beneficial to them.
Yeah, that again, I just keep going back to see something, say something feels powerful when everyone's doing it. If everybody in a community is using their instincts, trusting their instincts, and then reporting on them to people that can affect change, then something can actually happen. If everybody feels isolated and doesn't do that, then there's more chance for darkness to fall. But if people are thinking about how to be healthy and safe as they're out, and then when you see something, if you report it to somebody that can affect change, that helps everyone else at the mall, wherever you are, feel safer as well.
It certainly does. It's a simple concept. Sounds almost like a rhyme.
Mhm.
See something, say something, but it has a lot of value.
What are there are there locations you would suggest taking your family to or not? Are there certain types of places that are better to shop at than others, or any certain kinds that are more perceptible to theft or something else happening?
Well, I think that's a personal decision that you would make with your family. And certainly those relationships that you build that we talked about in your community, in your neighborhood, there may be reputations about a certain place that are negative, or that did you hear about what happened in this mall or in that strip center? So I think that listening to those recommendations, perhaps researching online, or just perhaps knowing yourself that over the years, this mall used to be a really great place to shop. And over the years, it really has turned out to be bad
Right.
because a lot of crime happens there that I hear about. And I'm going to choose perhaps another place to shop, or perhaps I'm going to go in the daytime, which I think lessens the risk a little, but still the risk still exists. We still have burglaries of motor vehicles and we still have theft of persons and property in the daytime.
Right.
Nighttime just brings a new level of comfort to thieves and a disadvantage to you because they use that as cover. And it's a better environment in the daytime if you're making that decision whether to go to that mall or strip center or not.
When I'm going out, like I said, when I was younger, we went out with my family. How can I discuss safety with my family, considering that there might be young kids in the family, or that I don't want to make them afraid of the mall, because I want to provide the world that they can go be happy with mom and dad at the mall. But how can I talk to my family about developing a plan to stick together? How do I broach that subject, or do you have any guidelines on talking to your family about a safety plan?
I remember when I was young that crossing the street, your mother would always grab you by the hand and take you with them. So I think there's two different conversations that have to occur. One is for adults, and I think that the adult conversation is we're going to the mall. You know it's going to be busy. We need to stay together. And if we separate, we have to have a place to rejoin each other. And if something goes wrong or goes bad, this is our plan. It doesn't have to be complicated, but that's the adult part. The child part, certainly depending on their age and ability to comprehend and follow instructions, would be tell them what's going to happen and that they must stay with us and or hold our hands or whatever it may be. But whenever a decision is made to abruptly leave or other type of action, it has to be immediately complied with without resistance. So there is a flow of action during a time that minutes and seconds even count. So I think that a simple plan with the adults and a simple discussion about what to do with the children during that time is a very valuable 3-minute deal that can make a big difference.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to be a scary thing for anybody. It can just be this. We're going to be resolved to be more prepared for going out.
By framing it as this is the holiday season, and there's a lot of people out right now, and they're all just in a hurry. So I want to make sure that we all stay together and that we all are aware of what's going on around us so we can make this a pleasurable experience and we can be comfortable. So I think that little small 3-minute safety plan and talk is very valuable.
Yeah, it seems like the overarching themes of everything we're saying is communicate with the people close to you, stay alert, and trust your instincts. And when something's wrong, tell those people immediately, and do the best solution you have to keep yourself safe.
That's right.
Is there anything, and that could be true about any situation, but today, we only have time to talk about holiday shopping today. But is there anything else besides that? Be prepared, create a plan for the people you're with, trust your instincts and stay alert and still have a good time the best you can. What else? Is there something we're missing, or is that?
I think those are great steps. And I think that they're simple to do, but have great value. And I encourage everyone to have a safe and secure holiday shopper season. It's a season to celebrate. It's a season to be happy. And I think that you can do that.
Right.
But just take that extra moment to think about your family and yourself and what small steps can you take that can make a big difference.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your expertise. I appreciate you sharing with us. This is really useful information.
Well, thank you, Daniel.
Yeah. Thanks, Robert.
Well, thank you for listening. We could not do this show without you, the audience, and we're very grateful for you. To hear more about what we're talking about, go ahead and go over to our website, SAFESECURE360.com, or look for new episodes of our show. Feel free to like and subscribe, follow us, tell your friends about us. We're here to offer something to you, and we're so glad for your support in doing it. Thank you.
Safe Secure 360 podcast. There is safety in numbers.